Coming to you today with a pretty sad story about some historic manufacturing buildings that suffered a devastating fire and now are being demolished. This is a case that happens more frequently than you would imagine. They have these big redevelopment plans, and then there's just one little thing like a fire, and now all of a sudden the plans are ruined. Not completely. They are still bringing this development here, a $1.2 billion innovation hub. But we are looking at Crunden-Martin Manufacturing Company, located in the Chouteau's Landing of St. Louis. And as we get up here and you see the arch, you see that we are just south of downtown St. Louis. But these buildings, they had massive timber interiors and they just burned through. So as you can see for this building right here, there is nothing supporting the walls, and the way that the city looks at it is they see a hazard and they get immediate demolition for this site, which is pretty sad because St. Louis could really St. Louis really needs a development, but if they could have done the development with these historic buildings, it would have been such a neat thing. But yes, I did not post this video so people can rip on St. Louis. That is a city that I really love. I grew up 2 hours away from it, so I've been to St. Louis a million times in my life, and I just absolutely love it. And when we look at some of this here, look at this pedestrian walkway that went over 2nd Street. That is amazing. Had they been able to preserve that, it would have been the greatest look back into Chicago's past. But now we're losing more of Chicago's past, but the redevelopment is still coming to this site. The plan was to reuse those old buildings, but now the plans change. The development is still coming. This is going to be a 100-acre, $1.2 billion tech and design innovation district. There are some big names here. Good Developments Group and Trivers Architects, which I don't know either of those because I'm not a St. Louis person, but hopefully they still have the plan and the vision to create something here. And there is still just a little bit of the historic structures that they will be able to use here, but we'll just have to, I'll have to keep coming back here and taking a look at this to see what happens. But this is a drone 360 view. We're looking at St. Louis, Missouri, sitting on the Mississippi River. That is the Gateway Arch. That is a national park site. It is a wonderful visit. They have some really neat displays to tell you about the history. And then you can go up in the arch and get the views of the courthouse in downtown St. Louis and just good views in general. But here we're doing this spin. This is the mighty Mississippi. This is 15 miles south of where two of the longest rivers in the United States meet, that being the Missouri and the Mississippi. But if you see here, you see there is massive amounts of commercial traffic on that waterway. And St. Louis, they really have a history of utilizing that river, and then a lot of the manufacturing and industry in the city has faltered, but the river is still huge to this city. But this is this final turn here, looking at downtown St. Louis. You will see that Millennium Hotel that is coming down, this round tower that is coming up. There will be a high rise replacing it. So hopefully we see more and more development in St. Louis. Thank you.